Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Sylvan's Way. Today, I am sharing a story of my October road trip and the 2 hour detour I took to pick up 31 tarot and oracle decks from someone on Facebook Marketplace who actually turned out to be one of my subscribers. So grab something cozy, settle in, and let's dive into this unforgettable tarot road trip haul. Before we get started, I want to do a quick reminder that I am hosting a Forest of Gratitude 500 subscriber giveaway. So if you'd like to join in, I will leave a link up here at the top as well as below in the description for you to be able to go to. It's like a 4-minute video that tells you how you can actually become part of that giveaway. So back to this video. Back in October, I was on my vacation driving from West Virginia to Washington, D.C. And I already have a video out there showing my haul that I got while on that vacation. But there was a twist because tarot timing is always a little magical. I ended up taking a 2 hour detour off of my route to pick up a huge marketplace haul. And here's the really fun twist. The seller, who I thought was a complete stranger, turned out to be one of my subscribers here on YouTube. She's Raven Morning Glory. Hi, Jen. We didn't realize this until after we started talking. And it really made the whole adventure feel like it was one of those synchronicities that tarot community is famous for. So in total, I brought back home 31 decks. Well, actually it was 30 because one of them was unfortunately a knockoff, but the rest were such a mix of surprises, treasures, and wish list dreams that I just have to share this with you. So for this video, I'm only going to show the boxes for each deck because with 30 of them, a full flip through of the cards would take forever. But if you want to see a review or a walkthrough of any of these decks, just let me know in the comments below and I can add it to my list. And then also, just to make this fun and easy to follow, I'm going to group these decks into a few categories. So let's get started. My first group of decks are ones that I already had or the ones I'm just not interested in. So these ones will be getting passed along. So the very first one is the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. I actually have the pocket-sized version of this deck, and I got it in the Hay House subscriber box one time. So I already got that. So I don't need a second copy of this. So I'll be getting rid of that one. I also have the Good Tarot. I got this, I think, from Hay House again. I think this is a Hay House, isn't it? I got this during one of their sales. So I already have this deck, so I don't need two of those. So I'll be doing something with that one as well. Then we have the Old English Tarot. I did a quick flip through of these cards, and I already have several decks that look like this deck, but are much nicer, higher quality. So I don't think I'm going to be keeping this deck either. The last two decks actually have something to do with angels, and I'm not into angels. So we have the Angel Answers Oracle cards and the Messages from Your Angels. So I'm not really into either one of these decks, so I'll be passing those along as well. So out of the 30 decks, I have 5 decks that I'm not going to be keeping, which I think is a really good number. I mean, actually, there's only 2 that I already had, but there's 5 that I'm gonna be keeping. So that's the first 5. Okay, my next 5 are decks that I've never seen before, and the verdict is still out on them. I'm not sure about these cards, whether I'm going to keep them or not. But I think I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to try to use them and see. But they're not really my style. But, you know, I did this so that I could be exposed to things that maybe I wouldn't normally get. So this one is the magical message from mermaids. So this is 55 healing ones, but these ones just have little sayings. I don't have any decks that are like this, so I think that might be interesting to try out. So that's the first of the 5. Another one is the Star Spinner Tarot. One, have never seen this deck before, but number 2, I'm not really sure about these images. I don't know if I like this. So my verdict on this is out. I don't know. I'm going to try to use it. I don't know if I'm going to like it though. So, you know, that's part of this. Learning about new decks, trying new things. So, if I can get it in the box. Another one in that category is the Zodiac Oracle. I don't really work with the Zodiac, though it's kind of on the back burner of maybe someday I will. So I'm curious about this. It's just got all the different Zodiac signs. And I haven't looked at the book or anything, so I'm very curious about, and I'm an Aries, so I'm going to leave that on top. So I'm going to see. I'm going to see about this deck. I'm not so sure about it, but I am willing to try it out. Another deck is the Power of the Runes by US Games. And I think I have one deck that has runes in it. And I do like this Pantheon. I just don't know if I want to go down that avenue to learn the runes on top of learning tarot, learning Lenormand, and learning Marseille. So I don't know. I'm going to hold on to this though. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see. Cuz it's kind of, I think it is in my heritage, that this is something that my heritage might have used. So I don't know. We're going to see. And then the last of the 5 is the Pegasus Oracle. I'm not really into Pegasus. I'm not, I love horses, but I'm not into horses, if you know what I mean. And it looks a little woo-woo to me, so I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about this deck. But I am willing to give it a try because it takes me outside of my wheelhouse. So that's the last of the 5 decks that I got that I'm not sure of, but I'm going to try to work with. My next grouping of decks are 6 decks. I've actually never seen these before. So they're total mysteries and new discoveries for me. I don't really know anything about these decks, but it was so cool to actually get decks that I've never seen before. So the first one is the Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides Oracle cards. I looked through this. They're really pretty cards. I'm actually looking forward to actually diving into this one. And I really love animal decks, so I was excited to see this. Another deck I'd never seen before is the Sufi Tarot. So this is a full 78 card deck, and I don't know anything about it. So I don't know anything about Sufism, the path of the heart. So I'm very curious about this. It'll be interesting. Another one that I really, really like the idea of this one. This is Postcards from Spirit. This is a 52 oracle deck. And this one is interesting because it's like little letters that you get from somebody. So I'm thinking this might be really good for a nightly draw. So I'm very curious about how this is going to work out. Then my next one I've never seen before is the Myths and Mermaids Oracle of the Water. So I don't have any decks that have these images of these big-eyed girls, so to speak. I don't know what else to call them. So I don't have any decks like this. So I'm not really drawn to this artwork, but now that I have this deck, I'm looking forward to maybe using it next summer to see if I can get over the big eyes on these like little Barbie type doll images. I don't know. People seem to love it, so I need to check it out. Another one I had never seen before is this Divine Circus Oracle cards. And I love the circus. But when I looked at the cards, they don't look very circus-like to me. So I'm very curious how this is going to work out. I'm very interested, but believe it or not, I'd never seen these cards before. So this is new for me too. Another new one for me that I'd never seen before is the Pasta Tarot. Seriously, the Pasta Tarot. How stinking funny is this? This is great. And I thought, oh my gosh, that can't be a very good deck. How has that got anything to do with tarot? But I did look through the cards and I did flip through the guidebook, and it actually coincides with Rider-Waite Smith. So I'm curious. I'm curious how it's going to read. I'm looking forward to doing a reading with this just to see how it reads. So that was 6 decks that I got that I had never seen before. Okay, so the next 5 are what I would call mass market gems. These are affordable, accessible decks that I'm really thrilled to have on my shelf because I don't have them. So I was really excited when I saw them. So they were also in my wish list too. But so the Modern Witch Tarot deck. I mean, I feel like this is a deck that everybody needs. So I don't have it and I was excited to get it. I've also seen this shown on a lot of people's channels, the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic. So I am super stoked about getting this little mass market gem and trying it out. So I've definitely seen this on other channels. So I'm happy about getting this deck. Whoops. Another mass market gem is Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck. So I looked through this. I've seen this on other people's channels. So I feel like this is a much loved, beloved Oracle deck out. I can't get this straight. Out there in the community. It's super adorable. It looks a little young for me, but I did look at some of the messages on the cards and I do kind of like it. So I feel like this is a mass market gem. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. One more that I'm super excited about is the Everyday Witch. So I finally have it. I didn't have a copy of this. So I'm really happy about having this deck in my little hands now. So I know that almost everybody has seen this deck. That's why it's under my mass market gem deck. And I've never gotten it because, like I said about the one before, it looks like it reads a little young. But I do have some trauma in my teenage years that I was thinking, well, you know what? Maybe this deck would be perfect for that. So I am looking forward to trying this Everyday Witch out. That little mass market gem. And then the last one is the Necronomicon Tarot. And so this is one that you can easily get. And I thought the book was kind of cool because it goes sideways. So it's a little different in that way. But this is kind of perfect for our household here because my husband plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he said that as a kid he read from the Necronomicon at night to see if anything would happen, and nothing happened. So this is kind of a fun mass market gem that is really fun to have added to our household. So that is the last of those 5 mass market gems that I'm really, really happy to have in my collection. Okay, the next 5 are wish list wins for me. So these are decks that I've been wanting for ages, and I finally got them in my collection. You know how decks, you want them, but the new ones come out, so they go on your wish list, and then they never seem to exit your wish list. So that's kind of where these are. Those prior 5 were as well, but these ones are on this list as well. So the first one is the New Era Elements Tarot. And so this has been on my wish list. I haven't gotten it because I thought it was a little young because of the face on the front of the box. But after looking at some of these cards, I feel like they're really relatable to today's day and time. So I'm actually super stoked to have this off my wish list and in my little hands. So that's the first one. The next one, I eyeball it and I get so excited about it every time I see people showing it on their channels, and it's the Muse Tarot. So I have wanted this deck for quite some time. I love this bright collage style artwork. So I am super stoked about having this off my wish list and on my tarot shelf. I probably am not going to use it until summertime because the colors are so bright and I'm a seasonal reader. But I am happy to have it. So off my wish list and in my little hands. Another one is the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot Deck by Matt Hughes. And I love his artwork, and I have wanted this deck for some time. I have the moon one, the other one, oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of it, but the one that is silver, and I use that every month for my new moon and full moon readings. So I'm excited about having this other version of his deck in my hot little hands. And I hadn't gotten it. It stayed on that wish list because I already had a version of this and I didn't know if I wanted to spend the money to buy a second version. So now I have the second version. Another one that's kind of the same type of artwork that's been on my list for a while is this Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. So I am so happy to finally have this. And look at how pretty those backs are. So I have been, Lilith is my girl. But I had seen this on channels before, and when I want to work with goddess energy, I thought it would be a really nice deck. But so many other goddess decks have come out that this ended up getting pushed farther and farther back on that wish list. So now I finally have a copy of it. So I'm super excited about that. And then the last one is the Osset, I'm probably not saying it right, Gypsy Tarot. I had always been interested in this deck, had never gotten it because it is pippish. So if we can see these pips over here. So I'm not into pip decks, but I'm really interested in the genre that this deck is about. So I am happy to have it off that wish list and in my collection so I can take the time to check it out and see if I can bond with it. So that was my 5 wish list wins. Okay, I'm super excited about these last 4. These last 4 are my I can't believe I got this decks. These are the absolute standouts that made the detour totally worth every mile. Some of these decks, well, 2 of them, I never thought that I would ever find them because they're out of print. And I'm so excited about having these decks and working with them and actually finding out what the big deal is about them. And so let me show you. So the first one is the Dreamscape Oracle deck. Now, the reason I put this one in here, because this is now a mass market, but this is the original indie deck that came out on Kickstarter. So this is a special version of this deck that you can't get. So I couldn't believe it when I saw this in there. And look at how gorgeous this deck is. So I'm really looking forward to using this deck. And I'm super stoked because this Dreamscape Oracle has been on my wish list for a while, but I haven't gotten it. And I can't believe I got it. And the one that I got is a Kickstarter deck. Oh, that's so great. Okay, the next one is, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but I've had this on my wish list for a while, but I haven't gotten it because it's expensive, as well as I know I'm never going to use it to do readings with. So look at how mammer jammer these decks, these cards are. But I am interested in the history of tarot. And so this deck it's going to allow me to do a little research. I mean, I could have done it without the deck, but having the deck, it just has me something to have in my hands as I do research. And the book actually has a lot of really good information in it about the deck and where it came from in the history of it as well. So I can't believe I got that deck as well. Drum roll for this next one. I cannot believe I got my pudgy little hands on this deck. The Tarot of the Vampires. This is out of print. I have always wanted this deck. Everybody talks so highly of the guidebook. The cards themselves do look a little gothic cheesy. So the cards themselves, however, what I have heard is that the guidebook to this deck is outstanding. And I am a guidebook crazy woman, and I am so looking forward to reading this guidebook. I never thought that I would have this deck in my hands, and I almost cried when I saw it because I just can't believe that I got this deck. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I'm super, super stoked. This right here is my deck of the year, my unicorn deck that I never, ever thought that I would get. And I am going to love and cherish this deck always, 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 always. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. Okay, and then the last one, here's another drum roll because it was totally unexpected. It is the El Goliath Tarot deck. Oh my gosh. I knew nothing about this deck. I had never seen it before. And when I got it, I found out it was out of print. And then I started looking at the images and the guidebook. And I was like, holy crap. People love this deck. And I see why. Because this guidebook is astounding. All the information that's included in it. And then look at these images on these cards. It's got the black, the backs are awesome. I mean, I am so blown away, floored about getting this deck. Ooh, that's a little scary. I am so unbelievably floored. I mean, floored is the only word I can think of for this deck. I just can't believe it. I love this deck. So I just, especially these last two decks, they made the trip worth it. These are decks I never thought that I would have in my collection. And like I said, Jen, I can't thank you enough. I don't know I didn't know, and I don't know if you knew that you had these gems in your collection, but I am so happy to have them, and they will receive lots of love in my home. That is for sure. They will be much appreciated. Okay, so that is my 30 decks out of the 31. One of them, like I said, I did toss. It was a knockoff of, I think it was the Black Tarot, and it was the Temu version of it. So I just threw it away. So I feel bad even giving those away to people. So I did throw it away. So anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me and going through this wild little road trip haul. I still can't believe a simple detour turned into meeting a subscriber and bringing home so many treasures. I'd like to give a huge shout out to Jen. Thank you so much for these wonderful decks and a great experience. For the rest of you, if you are interested in a walkthrough of any of these decks, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to share more of these with you. Just let me know if you're interested in any of them. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give a little like and subscribe, and then share it with someone who loves decks as much as we do here on Sylvan's Way. It really does help my channel grow. Until next time, may your path be cozy, magical, and full of beautiful synchronicities. I'll see you on the next video. I appreciate you. Thanks. Bye.